Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Plug Talk Sports Podcast, episode 176. It's me, Jock Don't Stop, the usual, the funny one. And I'm here with Brandon L this time.
Going
You
on,
know,
everybody?
Brandon H and Daniel have jobs to do, things to do, pay
Well,
rest today.
it's funny you say that because last week I couldn't come on, and now this week they don't come on. So I just want to make sure nobody throws shade at me for missing shows.
Yeah, everybody's favorite is always here, always on time. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna start with we're gonna do positives because we got a lot to talk about today. So no negatives today. We got that positive vibes going on today. So what about it, Brandon?
So my plug of the week, and it's funny because a lot of people, obviously love the month. If you're a diehard sports fan, you love the month of March, and not only because of March Madness, which actually gets going next week, but NFL free agency. Each team across the NFL looking to improve its roster ahead of the 2025 season. And right as I got into my car and drove back to my apartment, the Miami Dolphins, and shout out general manager Chris Greer, signing two offensive linemen. Look, this is a team that we all know have to sign linemen, as many linemen as possible. You can never go wrong with signing linemen, especially trying to protect Tua Tagovailoa. So definitely free agency, though. Easy plug of the week. And tonight was only night one, so definitely a lot of more fun stuff to come throughout the rest of the week.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to like side with you on this one. Free agency officially starts Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. This right now is a tampering period, but still, everything will be officially official.
Right.
People getting released on Wednesday, so there's still plenty of players that are
There
going to
was
be
a lot of
available
news that came. I mean, my phone, and I'm sure yours was too. My phone was buzzing all day. From
all day, bro.
and even now, like I'm getting notifications now.
It's getting ridiculous. It's gonna be until the night, and especially like in LA, they're 3 hours behind us.
Right.
So they're more like 12 a.m., 3 a.m. We're still gonna be getting news.
It's crazy, but
I
it's
love this
also
time of
why
year.
it's definitely crazy, but it's also why we love sports, because for times like this, it's not always about the playoffs. It's not always about regular season. It's about like off-season stuff. Off-season stuff brings a lot of people together.
I agree, 100%. Especially when your team is in the dumpsters, and then they're trying to pick up players and try to get better as your season goes on. That's what makes being a fan even more fun, just to see if your team can improve or not, and then you just blame the ownership. So, all right, heading into the first one, it's gonna have to be the situation between LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith. If you guys don't know, LeBron James confronted Stephen A. Smith at a game recently, talk, and apparently it was being said that LeBron was telling him to keep Bronny James, his son, out of his mouth and out of like the media attention. To me personally, don't understand why he's like all defensive now about Bronny James and all this, because even though LeBron James is the king of media, he
Right.
loves to control the narrative. He loves to, how do you say, look good in front of the media. But as of recently, it doesn't make sense because you're attacking the media, and then you go on and look like a, how do you say, like a bully. You walk up to Stephen A. Smith and say, "Hey, yo, don't talk about my kid." Yet LeBron James is the reason why his kid is on the team. Took up a draft pick spot ahead of somebody that should have deserved it.
Right.
His son absolutely is. I'm gonna say it sucks. Right? He's only averaging like a point in the NBA. He's in and out of the G League, and so like, why he's an absolute waste of time and space and money. Like, this is the whole, like, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, this whole situation with LeBron James and his son should have never happened. I blame, this was 100% on LeBron James, and he's trying to somehow like deflate or de-escalate
Right.
the narrative that his son sucks, and you know what I mean.
Right.
Like, I kind of understand it's a son, right?
Right.
But you're the reason this is all happening. His son was only scoring like, I think it was like 4 points in USC. He clearly wasn't ready. You forced him because you wanted to play with him before you retired, and now you're seeing the ramifications of what you're done. And now you can't blame a sports analyst
Right.
who analyzes your son playing
And who's making? We were talking about it off camera. I believe Stephen A. Smith is making 7 figures.
Yeah,
he's making well. He's not making $1, $2, $3 million a year. He's making, I believe, about $19, $20 million a year.
He's the biggest sports analyst in the world.
Right.
In the world.
You can say whatever you want about Stephen A. Smith. I've had my comments about him, but at the end of the day, if I'm turning on a television, I'm turning on Stephen A. Smith. And I truly think 95% of the sports world would probably say yes. I mean, you're right.
I agree. Like, it doesn't matter if it's football, baseball, basketball, whatever ESPN can get Stephen A. Smith on the TV, he will be there no matter what. And I think LeBron James doesn't understand, like, buddy, what he does for sports is that he analyzes the players, how he play, they play good, well, bad, whatever it is, and then he tells his opinion. If he sees that your son, that you wanted him to come into the league unprepared and he was not ready, and you see how he's playing on the court and he's not good enough, don't walk up to the guy and say, "Hey, yo, keep my son's name out of your mouth." Like, no, buddy. Like, who do you think you are? I don't care how good you are or how big, like, fake GOAT you think you are, but you're not going to shut me up. I'm going to say it as it is. Your son sucks. Your son sucks. He doesn't deserve a spot on this Lakers roster or in any roster in this NBA. Maybe if he develops in the G League and eventually works up his way and gets better and gets more experience,
right?
Maybe one day he can, I guess, like, make a name for himself. But as of right now, you forced him into a league where he wasn't ready and he wasn't the top dog. I mean, up to you.
I will definitely say this. One, I don't respect players who attack media members, right? And just like any player, whether you're in the NBA, NFL, NHL, you have a job, you have a job to do. We have a job to do. And as a credible journalist, your job is to report credible news. So I definitely agree with you in terms of I don't understand why LeBron James is confronting, again, we can all say probably the most credible journalist as of right now in Stephen A. Smith. And I honestly think LeBron James is here where he's at now because we know LeBron's pretty much done soon. I mean, I think we can all agree that LeBron's got about a couple more seasons left, if that. So they wanted to pair that father-son duo, the first time ever that a father and son on the same team. He should have stayed in college, maybe not all 4 years, but at least 3. And like, just like you said, let him get reps. Let him get I mean, even journalism, right? I mean, if you want to be in front of a camera, you need reps. And I feel like no matter what what I'm trying to look for the word, profession, you need reps. And I don't think LeBron's son really had as many reps as he should have had. And that's why we're seeing this. Now, granted, with all due respect, they're going to make the playoffs this year because, as we all know, they traded for us a superstar. But this media drama, it absolutely just blows my mind. And it was funny because I didn't hear about it until the next day when I was at work and I saw the video. LeBron definitely threw some curse words at Stephen A. Smith. He didn't say 100%. A lot of people were like, "Oh, he did it in a He didn't do it in a professional way." I saw that. I saw the video. The video's up and viral. It's probably gone, I'm sure, over 1 million or 2 million views by now, if not more. Stephen A. Smith has a job to do. And again, he's had a lot to say about Tua. He's had a lot to say about the Florida Panthers. But at the end of the day, he gets the money he gets because of the comments he makes. And a lot of the comments he says, whether you like it or not, he's not wrong. Like he knows his stuff. And again, I've looked up Stephen A. Smith for years, and his journey as a whole is amazing because he got fired, I believe, from his first job. He worked a little bit with the Philadelphia Inquirer. Mm-hmm. I believe in high school even or college, he got kicked out. So it's like it's an inspirational journey because it shows that no matter the color of your skin and no matter where you come from, anybody can make it. And look at Stephen A. Smith, that we talked about off camera, 7 figures. So I just don't understand why LeBron's making why? Because he's mentioning his son's name. Like, dude, he's talking facts. It's not like Brown. Now I can understand if Bronny James is averaging 25 points a game, he's in line for Rookie of the Year. Then okay. Then like why are you throwing shade under my son's name? But he's been like invisible this season. And honestly, I kind of saw when Bronny James got drafted this past June in the second round. I think we all saw what was going to happen. I don't think there's many of us out there that said he was going to come to the NBA and put up 15, 20 points a night and double doubles and this and that. I mean, come on, man.
There at some point, like people were betting that he was going to be the number 1 overall draft pick, and I'm like, buddy, are you guys like crazy? Like the guy's only averaging like 1 to like 3-4 points in USC, and like playing like 30 minutes, 35 minutes a game. Like, are you guys drugged? Like, what's wrong with you?
People again, sports today, whether you see it with college football and NIL, sports today is all about viewership. It's all about the money. I mean, hell, you go to a Florida Panthers game and you're easily paying over $40 to park. Now, imagine you get, for every 100 cars, you can just imagine how much the stadium is making alone just in parking. I mean, it's all about viewership. It's all about revenue. However, they're going to get people to come to the Laker games because they have a father and a son on the same team. People are going to come. Now they got Luka Doncic. Everybody's going to come. So it's like, now that video went viral, who knows? Now everyone's going to come again and try to start a Twitter war, or X war, if Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James are going to fight behind closed doors, like they did with the whole Ian Rappaport and Jordan Schultz fighting at the scouting combine. Hey, let me tell you something, though. Journalists can fight, too. So don't underestimate us.
We got the power of words.
Right.
Well, speaking of audience and being there for your fans, we're going to head into this topic. It's kind of like a weird one because we really don't have much information.
Right.
Because it's been kept pretty quiet. But it's Leo Messi, the superstar for Inter Miami.
Who's that?
He somehow hasn't played the last 3 games. And people are asking what's going on. Is he injured? Is he load managing? Is he this? Is he that? Like, what's going on? Me personally, like, I can understand. I can see where the load management argument comes in because yes, like the MLS season just started, then you got the FIFA World Cup, and then you got this I forgot what it's called, the Champions Cup. Like there's so many different tournaments now, which I kind of hate with MLS and stuff like that. I don't get me started with it. I think it's too many games.
Right.
And especially that Messi, he's not in his prime anymore. Like, he's still Messi, but he's not. You know what I mean? Like, he can't be playing this many games, and then you risk your superstar player to get potentially injured by some random dude from like, I don't know, whatever country they're playing in, and then they're out, and then you get screwed over, which is kind of like what happened last year in the Copa America final, where he got injured against Colombia, and then he was out for like 2.5 months, and then he came in like at the end of the season, and then like that's when Inter Miami kind of like was struggling to find their place.
Right.
I don't know, man. I honestly, I can see the negative viewership of it because it's like, oh damn, like the season just started, you're load managing, and people are coming to see you to play. Like, obviously, even though me, I want the player. If you're gonna play, you're gonna play. But if don't give me dumb excuses that you're not gonna play because you just don't feel like playing that day because of load management. I don't like load management. Maybe if it's like you playing like 3 games in like 4 or 5 days, okay, maybe I can see why.
And it's funny, and not to cut you off, but it is funny you say the 3 games in 5 days, because to close out February, Inter Miami, I have in my notes here, 3 matches in 6 days to close out February, and 3 in the first week of March. And we all know, I mean, I don't have to sit here and tell everyone what the sport's about, but it's all about endurance. It's all about running. It's all about conditioning. And Messi's getting up there in age, and it probably is load management. They're probably holding. I mean, the MLS season just kicked off. Now, again, if I'm an Inter Miami fan, if I'm an Inter Miami season ticket holder, I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't alert me ahead of time, because I'm paying a lot of money to watch
I
one of the
agree.
best soccer players to ever kick a soccer ball. You understand what I'm saying? So from the average fan perspective, I would be disappointed in it. I don't. I hope maybe Messi's camp eventually, sooner rather than later, comes out and talks about what's been going on. Is it a personal matter? Is it maybe God forbid a death in the family that he's been attending to? Because I haven't watched any Inter Miami game this year, but has he been on like the sideline? Has
Yeah,
he
yeah, he was at the game yesterday, and
Okay, so he's at least he's in the vicinity. He's with the
yeah,
team.
he's there.
So I mean, if I had to take a wild guess, it has to be load management. But in soccer's a long season, and like there's in-season tournaments, and it's a lot.
In some way, I don't like that he's sitting because I'm a Messi guy. I think he's the GOAT
Right.
over Ronaldo. Like people, Ronaldo, Messi, whatever, Messi. But I can also see this as like a potentially like diamond in the rough, or like something in the sky, like a, how do you say, something in the skies, because since Messi's not playing, you got all these young guys that are coming in, because this whole roster has been had a huge turnover in
Right.
players.
And
You
they
know,
have a new coach now
and
too.
especially a new coach, and they're trying to fix this defense. And this is again another game where Inter Miami had to play with 10 men the whole game, from the beginning of since the 23rd minute of yesterday's game. So they were already down 10 men. So the defense had to play more, obviously play more defense than offense. So they've been struggling a little bit. But the thing is, like, if you're eventually you're not gonna have Messi there anymore, right? If Messi someday he says, I can't play today, there's a benefit to you playing them now when Messi is having some load management, I guess, so that in the future they have the experience, they know what to do. They played with each other already. It's like, okay, we played without Messi before.
Right.
There should be no panic. We know what to do. These are my teammates. All right, boom. They've had some sort of chemistry period where they can work together. Now Messi, you can put him in. He's a glue, bro. You plug him in any position, he'll play it. But the one thing I will say is that besides us having been playing with 10 men to start these games out because of red cards, the offense has been lackluster. Obviously, it could be affected by the 10 men. No, don't get
Right.
me wrong. But from what I have been seeing, it hasn't looked as good as it was last year. Obviously, because we had way more talent last year on the offense. But this year, I feel like we're more defensive. Obviously, because of Javier Mascherano, the new coach. So I would like to see Messi, when he comes back in, try to enforce the offense a little bit more. Maybe get them going a little bit, and maybe get that tempo set in. It's like, okay, once we try to attack, we need to do this, we need to do that, just to get back on defense. Make some adjustments, because this team as of right now is low key.
Like the Miami Heat. See, you forgot to finish the
No, they're not the Heat. They're not the Heat because they're not gonna blow a lead.
right. That right.
It's too early. It's too early in the season for them to blow a lead.
If Inter Miami's winning 4-1 in the 83rd minute, we don't think the other team would have scored 3 goals and tie, right?
They did it last year because we had a terrible defense.
But if you're the Heat, and we're going to get into more of that tonight, if you're the Heat and you have a 15-point lead in the third quarter, that's when you start biting your nails, because you know that 22-3 run by the other team's coming.
Yeah, basically. So I'm just a little bit worried with the offense with the team because Messi's not playing, and so I mean we also have Suarez out, Alba, you got Busquets.
Right. I mean, you still have playmakers, but going off what you said, I'm curious to see as the season continues. I mean, this is a team that was, I believe, first in the league last year, first in the conference.
Yes, we lost to Atlanta in the playoff in the first round.
Yeah, but they were definitely supposed to go way further than the first.
I personally think we should have won the whole thing. If our defense was just they were basically the Miami Hurricanes. If their defense was just a little bit better, I think they would have gone at least to the finals and maybe fought for it. But
I mean, hey, Miami's got a new we got a new defensive coordinator this year, so I'm hoping Corey Heatherman can.
Bro, let's not start with the Hurricanes, bro. Let's not do
I
this
don't
right
want
now.
to get you too fired up because then you're not gonna let me come to your restaurant anymore. You're gonna have that door
Shout
locked.
out to
I was
shout
gonna say my man's repping the shirt tonight. Would you need to like rep that more, by the way, because I didn't. I was gonna say it in the start of the show. So I went to Jonka's restaurant for the first time last week. It was before the FIU Miami game. Best Cuban sandwich in Miami. And I'm not a Miami guy. I just don't like the traffic, the driving.
Thank
I
you, thank you.
will drive to Midtown for Jonka's restaurant. I will. And it's funny, my dad said he wants to come. My stepmom wants to come. My dad wants to come. A lot of my family want to come. I told him about it. I already followed you guys. So you got to start promoting this more, man. You got to put PlugTalkSports / Enriquetas because this thing needs to get promoted, man. Double Cuban sandwich too? Come on, man.
It would be awesome. It would be funny the day you show up with your family. Maybe you get lucky and you get to see David Beckham sitting down.
I was telling my pops about that the other day. I don't even know if my dad believed me at first. I was like, no, he told me, and he even has photos of it.
Yeah, bro, it's surreal. Once you meet him, he's a super cool guy.
I love that.
Now you guys might think we're getting off topic, but we're not because it's David Beckham and he's went into Miami, so it does. But switching tracks here to a completely different sport
and a completely relevant team,
and we're at the trade deadline. But question: are the Panthers going on a back-to-back run though? They get Marchand and they get what's this guy's name?
They got Brad Marchand for a conditional draft pick, which we'll touch more on that in a bit. They got Seth Jones. They got Nico Strum. They got Vitek Vanecek, who I was a big fan of. I know he's in a rebuilding San Jose team. Dude, pitched a 21 save shutout on his first start this past Saturday night against Buffalo. Listen, I'm glad that we're touching on this Panthers team. This Panthers team is loaded, and they've been loaded. And I know they got some disappointing news today with the news about Aaron Ekblad being suspended for 20 games, but I don't think that's going to hurt the team as much with Seth Jones now here, and he can play on that top line with Gustav Forsgren.
What do you think, bro?
About the overall trade?
About the overall trade, yeah, and especially don't get into the Ekblad point.
No. With the overall trade, I mean, Brad Marchand, he's 36. He's been there before. He's won cups with the Boston Bruins. I think it's a solid veteran piece. I believe he's hurt right now. He had an upper body injury first week of March in a match against the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think he's gonna fit in. I mean, they were joking today. He met with the local media today. He was joking that they asked him a question about Sam Bennett, and if you know the history between Sam Bennett and Brad Marchand, when Florida knocked out Boston in the last two playoff years, Brad Marchand and Sam Bennett were just going at it. I mean, on the ice, whenever each one had the puck, they were going at it. Well, now here they are, both in Sunrise, Florida, playing on the same team, looking to not only go back to the Stanley Cup final for the third straight year, but looking to win for the second consecutive year and be the first Florida team since the Tampa Bay Lightning. But look, they asked Brad Marchand, how do you feel now about being paired with Sam Bennett? I think it was George Richards who asked. And if I'm wrong on that, I do apologize, but I don't think I am. And they asked for his response, and Brad Marchand goes, he's such a scumbag. But he made it as a joke, like, oh, he's such a scumbag. But then immediately, seconds later, he started laughing it off. But I honestly like the draft pick. I honestly like the trade. I think, and then for people asking what that conditional draft pick means, I have it here. It's a 2027 second round that can turn into a 2028 first round if the Panthers win 2 rounds in this upcoming Stanley Cup playoffs and Brad Marchand plays in at least 50% of those Panthers playoff games. So we'll soon see what Brad Marchand can do when he's ready to hit the ice. But don't buy off what he said today. He looks like he's going to be ready soon. Bro,
I'm so excited for the playoffs already, bro.
I mean, did any of you think this was going to happen? I mean, it's like the Florida Panthers are a destination. Everybody wants to come here now.
Bro, because when this trade happened, our friend Brandon H texted us, And then they're saying, "Oh, there's 5 minutes left," and then apparently, like, "Oh, there's big news coming in,"
Right.
and I'm like, well, "5 minutes left?" Like, I mean, I guess sure, but like, usually in hockey, it's like I don't know, it's not as like crazy as like NFL or NBA news like that, but and then this trade
I
happens, bro. I was
I
crazy. I
give
was like, "What the hell?"
I give credit to Bill Zito because Bill Zito they wanted Mikko Rantanen. I don't know if because numbers weren't right or whatnot. He goes to the Dallas Stars, and I'm sitting here watching a crime documentary, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, are the Panthers done yet? And here we are at the buzzer beater deadline. We have Bill Zito grabbing Brad Marchand. I mean, it's like whatever you want to say about Chris Greer, whatever you want to say about Pat Riley, but don't you dare ever say anything negative about Bill Zito. You can't. They have to build a statue of him already. I mean, I know he's only been here since 2020. They have to build a statue, though. It's been 5 years. It's been 5 years too long. I will personally go to the arena and I'll dig up some dirt if I have to, and I'll make a stand there to the city of Sunrise. They have to build it. It's been 5 years too long. This guy just doesn't miss.
Bro, I don't even know if this city's ready for our back-to-back champions, Stanley Cup champions, especially, bro.
Can
Like,
you imagine another parade down Fort Lauderdale Beach? I mean, that beach is already crowded with spring breakers coming in, but now you add in another Stanley Cup trophy.
bro, it would be chaos, bro. Like, forget about like West 49 Hialeah, forget about Bird, forget about Biscayne. No. Hollywood, Florida would be ridiculous. West Palm would be ridiculous, bro. Broward County would get nuts for back to back, bro. I don't think the league is ready. If a South Florida team
I will
wins
say
again,
this Panthers team. I mean, they look destined. They'll get Ekblad back after the first two games in the first round. They're hoping to get Matthew Kachuk back soon. This team is healthy, and I don't want to knock on wood. I don't want to jinx it. They have 18 games left in the regular season. They currently have 83 points. They lead the Atlantic. I mean, who's to say? Bob's playing amazing. The defense playing amazing. Vitek Vanessa at first start, and he pitches a shutout. I mean, it doesn't matter what this team does, who they plug into the starting lineup, they all contribute.
I can't hate on that. Now, the thing with Ekblad came out that said so he was supposedly using performance enhancing drugs. He will be suspended for 20 games
Without pay,
and
I believe, too.
without pay, which according to you that should be like 2 games into the playoffs.
Yeah, so it should be the last. It will be the last 18 games of the regular season, and then the first 2 games of that first round.
Now, this could work to our benefit because and listen to this. Once they get back, we will have a fully healed Matthew
Right.
Kachuk, rested Ekblad, and now we have Marchand probably coming back. He's gonna get some reps in. Jones is gonna have some reps.
Seth Jones, yep.
Bro, the chemistry is gonna be working together these next 20 something games, bro. If they can get this going, bro, and if this works, I'm saying, bro, we're going back to back. We're going back to back.
I always love to end conversations from your mouth to God's ears. I hope because I've been waiting for this for years. This team was a laughing stock when you talked about the Florida Panthers. People would have rather went to Wanadu City instead of
Oh
going.
my god, I love that place. That was my
And
god.
it's funny. I was asking one of my coworkers. She has two kids, and I was like, "You guys, you don't remember your kids are young, but you don't remember Wanadu City?" And she was like, "I don't really." And I'm like, "You were born and raised in South Florida, and you don't remember
Wait, how old is
Wanadu
she?
City?" My mother would take me there as a kid. Like
Wait, what?
Wanadu City was.
It was just glorious.
Which crazy. I know this is off topic real quick, but crazy story. I was about 8 years old, and my sisters and I go shopping or whatnot, I believe. And if I'm trying to remember fully, I went into a store, hid under the one of like those big Santa Claus like balloons. My sisters thought I was kidnapped. I mean, and I was lost in the mall for a good hour. And remember, this was like no phones back then. There was no iMessage. We didn't have our iPhones on us like we do today. So it's like looking back, you kind of cherish those moments and kind of miss those moments. But no, that Yeah, like Wanadu City, man. They would go there instead of going to Florida Panthers.
Bro, Wanadu City was pure anarchy.
Wanadu City, man. I was one of those circus clowns. Which, funny enough, I told both my mother and father that I wanted to be a circus clown. It was first a mailman, and then it was a circus clown.
Bro,
So I've
funny
come a
enough,
long way from where I wanted to start, man. I thought I was going to be dancing over at Rainland Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus.
I was always the judge in the court, and I would always
Oh yeah.
It was so fun. It was
Dude,
just like
fun times though. It's
guilty.
like, we oh man, like just even talking about it now just kind of brings you like goosebumps, you know.
Bro, for anybody that doesn't know, Wanadu City, fire
Look it up.
place.
Look it up tonight. If you have kids at home and you're watching this, look it up with them. It's a former indoor theme park located at Sawgrass Mills. Won't be disappointed. Just look back at it. It was a total classic.
Yeah, bro. Don't even get me started with that place. I could talk about that for
And
hours.
wait, real quick, one more time before we jump into our final topic. So my dad texted me. He goes, he heard everything that I said on the podcast, and he's super excited to come down and try that double Cuban. I'm telling you, dude. I've been telling him.
Thank you, bro.
He's locked and loaded. Like he's locked and loaded. He's ready to go. So I'm definitely gonna get him out there soon for sure.
I'll be there, bro. You let me know when you're there. I'll try to get you a table.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, and heading into potentially our final topic, and it's gonna be maybe controversial one for me because I'm already getting like heated. I'm like up to here already with this thing.
I can only imagine where your anger level is.
It is the Miami Heat having blown, and again tonight, all over again tonight. I'm not even kidding you. I've blown 15 or more. I think 15 and more leads, double-digit leads this season. And I don't know what to tell you, bro. I know people say he's like, oh, bro, Spoelstra, he's a good coach, whatever. Listen, people could say he's a good coach. That's fine. To me, at some point, if you're losing all these games by double digits, at what point are we gonna stop blaming the players and start looking at the coach? Like seriously, because it's like to me, it's always whenever a team loses a lead, you blame the players for not playing hard enough, not making their shots, so and so, not running a play, whatever it is. But the coaches are always the last one to take the blame. I don't know why. It is what it is. Oh, if let's say like the Heat when they had Jimmy, they were playing really well. Everything was got nice and dandy. Whenever the Heat win, Spoelstra looked like a genius. But whenever the Heat would lose, damn, bro, just Jimmy and the team didn't have it today. Let's stop this right now because it happened again today against the Charlotte Hornets,
who are one of the worst teams in the Eastern Conference.
Don't even get me started. Now, what to me, what is going on? I just think the roster isn't good. We just have a bunch of role players. We don't have a star. I said it again. I'll say it last week, and I said it the week before that. Tyler Hero is not a star in this league. He's a well-known player because of his girlfriend and what he did in the 2020 bubble. But he's not that guy he's not a person to carry a star to carry a team. Bam, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what. I think he's just there. He's just a guy that's there that just whatever. Like a fart in the wind. Like, okay, you threw it, but like you can still sense it.
Right.
I don't know, bro. I don't know what this team is, man. I don't know. Like even like the Suns apparently came out saying that for the trade for Kevin Durant this offseason, they still want like 3 first-round picks and a young player acquisition. I'm like, bro, what are we doing, bro? Like, I'm prepared.
So let me try to find this. Let me try to find this tweet from the Miami Herald's Barry Jackson, who, if you live in South Florida, you follow journalism, you obviously know who Barry Jackson is, right? So he writes this, and word for word: another dismal Heat loss against a hot garbage Charlotte team. Heat was outscored at home by 7 in fourth quarter tonight, and has now been outscored by 111 points in the fourth quarter since New Year's Day. Miami has now lost 15 games it led in the fourth quarter. Remember, in NBA, there's 4 quarters. The Heat now fall to 29-35, and he finishes that post by saying 3 words: "What a mess." And this has been a very messy, confusing, frustrating Heat season, not only because of the whole Jimmy Butler drama. They can't protect a damn lead. They just can't. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the home crowd is distracting. Do they have to go back to that 2020 bubble life when there was no fans in the stands? Like, there's 6 games under 500. They ain't doing crap even if they make the play in. I'm sorry to say it. Who are they going to – we look at what this Boston Celtics – this is not the first time we have talked about this. This Boston Celtics team looks really good. There's about another 4 teams in the Eastern Conference that are going to blow by the Heat. Unless the Heat are going to go back to this 2023 magical run to the finals, which we probably know 99.9% of us know they're damn not doing that. I don't know. They have to make changes this offseason, right? Because Pat Riley seemed like he was sold on this team this year. And Bam Adebayo, yeah, he broke the Miami Heat double-digit record. Kudos to him. Fans aren't going to come to the game for that. Dude, they like – have the Heat even really been, aside from 2023 and the 2020 bubble, the Heat are not a relevant South Florida sports team anymore. I mean, let's face it. It's the Florida Panthers. Probably we can argue that second spot, the Heat and Dolphins. We already know the Marlins are dead last. We don't have to even talk about that. But it's like, come on, man. 6 games below 500. You were a 9-point favorite tonight at home against a very bad – I'm not even going to say pretty bad. That's a bad Charlotte Hornets team. And these are wins that the Heat need to stack to try to even host a play-in. Now you're probably looking at you might have to play on the road unless they fall to that 10 spot. But I don't know. This is a bit of a messy Heat season. I mean, 6 games below 500. They have guys that can contribute. But like you said, I don't – it's more of a role players than like a legit starting 5. This team was never going to do anything anyway, even if they had Jimmy Butler right now.
Like, they picked up this guy, the rookie Kyle Ware. He's been great, but they don't play him enough.
Right.
They don't play him in the fourth quarter. You got Bam playing 4, 5, and a 3, and then you got Hero playing 1, 2, and 3, and they're not in their set positions. You know, Tyler Hero to me isn't even. I don't even think he's a 1 or a 2. I think he's a good 3 in a star team, bro. Like it's like you got Jokic, you got Murray, and then you got Hero.
Right.
Like you got Luka, LeBron, then you got Hero. And then like he doesn't really like show.
I mean, like Tyler Hero will be a star player on a garbage team. Washington, Charlotte, New Orleans, and even New Orleans, I believe, has Brandon Ingram, right? Like
no, he went to the Raptors.
Oh, in the trade deadline, okay.
Yeah, no, but like DeJounte Murray on the Pelicans, Zion Williamson,
right?
And then you got Hero.
Yeah,
but like you see, like it's telling me like it's not enough, bro. Like yes,
Tyler Hero is the star
improved.
here, though. Now that Jimmy Butler's gone, he has to be that star. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's got to play 30 plus minutes a night.
I can tell you this right now. If let's say Tyler Hero plays the rest of his contract out and continues to like produce like 25, 6 and 4, whatever it is, and a consistent basis, and let's say the Heat end up not going anywhere, I would trade Hero. I would honestly trade Hero and get whatever you can get because this team looks completely like out of whack, bro. Out of whack. Like
I mean, I think this team knows they have 17 games left in the. This team is nothing more than a play-in team this year because how far are they behind the Pistons? Not only for the 6th seed, but that 9, 8, 7, that 8 and 7 spot in the play-in bracket. Like the Heat dug themselves a hole, and the Southeast Division this year as a whole has been hot garbage, to be honest with you.
Former Dolphins free agent, offensive lineman Rob Jones reached agreement tonight with Dallas Cowboys for a 1-year deal.
Up there, so there we go. So we're like Shams Charania and Adam Schefter breaking news during the middle of the show.
What's crazy is that you get online, but then you lose online.
Well, I know we had to lose O line because they're not going to get these two offensive linemen that they got and then keep Rob Jones or keep Liam. I mean, listen, this is I know I've said it 100 times. This is a critical offseason for not only Tua, but Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer, because if they don't figure it out this year, I know it's off topic right now, they're both gone, in my opinion. I wanted McDaniel gone 2 years ago. I'm still holding to that. Don't argue with me. Comb your hair, do your plan. This is it. This is it. So every offseason move that this team makes, all eyes are on Chris Greer.
If you're Pat Riley, if you're Mickey Arison, and even Spoelstra, whoever else you want to include in that conversation, that's running the Heat organization. It's been since I would have to say Dwayne Wade that you drafted a star player, like a star team player. Like, you know what I mean? Like, ever since then,
they've had some solid draft choices, but I totally agree with what you're
like
saying.
they're drafting for role players. They haven't been drafting for star players. And I think that's one of our issues. Is that like we're drafting players that's more like trying to afford development and get them for cheap, build them up, and then send them off, and then maybe you get some trade picks, like some picks for it. But the thing is, like, we're not paying these dudes. We're developing them. They're turning out to be good, and they're not really turning. They're not really like. I'm just so frustrated because we have all these players, right? And then all these like the Boston, OKC, who else? I would have to say Boston, OKC, and maybe Denver, where they have these players that are so talented, right? Talented giftly that scoring for them and defending for them is not as hard, so they have to expend less effort. But then when it comes to the Heat, because of Heat culture, you have to go all out. You
I
gotta
think that Heat culture saying has been dead for years now.
like you gotta play mean ball. You gotta try hard
Right.
for every play, everything. Like, bro, at some point you're gonna gas yourself, bro, because you're trying so hard on every possession just to score. And then but then you got this one guy on OKC, bro, that's just like legit scoring twos, threes, layups, like it's nothing, bro. Like, how does that make you feel, bro? Like, it's like, bro, we're trying this hard, bro. This guy's just like cruising on cruise control. Like, why can't we have that? Like, why can't we have some ease? Like Kevin Durant in the on the Warriors, bro. Like, I would just pull up from a long two, and just like, boop. Like, there's no contest. Like, who are you gonna stop? But we don't have that in the Heat, bro. Like everybody can be stopped. There's not one person on the Heat that you could be like, okay, yeah, we can't stop that guy.
Let's say the play-in started tomorrow and it was the Heat and the Chicago Bulls. Are the Heat winning that game? Because remember, the Heat blew a lead to that same Chicago Bulls team. So it's like, what is all of a sudden a magical switch is going to turn on? Oh, it's playing day. It's like March Madness. It's you win and survive, and you win and move on, or you lose and your entire season's done. So
As
I mean that's a good question. If the Heat and the Chicago Bulls were playing tomorrow in a playing game, do you trust the Heat?
as of right now, the Heat are basically half a game behind Orlando Magic. Um,
It's tough, right? I mean, it's not like if I asked you that question 3 years ago, you wouldn't hesitate to say yes.
the thing is, like, even when we had Jimmy, like Chicago still gave us headaches.
Right. They had to make a comeback in the second half, I remember, when they played the Bulls in that playing game. It was at the Kaseya Center. I remember that exactly. Jimmy Butler had the and one.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that the year he went to the finals? Right?
I think so.
That was they lost to the Hawks in that
Mm-hmm.
first play, remember? And they had
Yeah,
that do or die.
like, let me see. They got Adebayo, Kyle Anderson looked like an idiot running around. Alec Burks can shoot. Josh Christopher, haven't even seen him play. To the hero, okay. Haywood Highsmith, Jaime Jaquez, Kashad Johnson, Nikola Jovic, he's injured. Pele
Right.
Larson, he's a rookie. He's like been whatever.
I mean,
Kevin
what
Love not
will the
playing.
betting
Duncan
line
Robinson
be?
bum. Terry Rozier is gambling on himself.
Right.
Isaiah Stevens haven't seen anything. Wiggins just came back from injury, but it's whatever. But like, bro, we don't have star players, bro. Like we just have like
In my eyes, whenever a betting line in terms of a Heat game is between that 5.5, that 3.5 to 5.5 point range, it's anybody's ball game. So I tell you right now, if the play-in started tomorrow and the betting line was Miami minus 3.5, they don't have that much faith in the Heat. So that's why I would like to ask all Heat fans that are watching tonight, if the play-in started tomorrow and it was the Heat and the Bulls, do you trust the Miami Heat to advance to the first round? Not that it would matter anyway, because they're probably to get the wind blown out of it.
if let's say the Heat were to lose that
Playing.
that first game. No, wait, no. If the Heat lose the first one from the 9 versus 10, they're out,
They're out.
right? Yeah.
If you lose the 7 versus 8, you go to the losers bracket and
Yeah.
you play the winner of the 9 and 10.
Let's say some hypothetical. They say they do beat Chicago, right? And they go and they play the 7 or the 8. You'd have to play Atlanta as of right now, Atlanta or Orlando. I don't see the Heat getting rid of any of those two.
Barry Jackson, I know him, I follow him. He's one of the best, if not the best, in terms of credibility and South Florida. Just the overall sports journalism IQ in him is unbelievable. He believes that the Heat need to just blow it all up.
Just blow it up completely.
Now he doesn't believe that he should trade Tyler Hero and Bam out of bio. But when you say blow it up, I mean, what is your definition of blowing it up? Blowing it up is what the Dolphins should have done this past offseason. When I say blow it up, I want everybody out. I want the GM out. I want the head coach out. I want my offense coordinator out, my defense coordinator, and the whole roster. So in basketball terms, if I'm blowing it up, am I getting rid of Pat Riley? Am I getting rid of Eric Spoelstra? Am I getting rid of some of my bench coaches? What are we doing?
If it were me, I would get rid of. I understand this, but I kind of think Pat Riley's he's stuck in his old ways, micromanaging everything.
Right.
We just kind of put off some players. Maybe Jimmy, LeBron, Dwayne Wade said he's gone pissed.
Remember too, a lot of people don't like to talk about that whole Dwayne Wade and Pat Riley. There was a lot of feud behind closed doors before Dwayne Wade got that damn statue that he should have gotten a long time ago.
A while ago.
Yeah, I blame all that on Pat Riley.
And now they're saying that they're just right after that one, they want to add one for Haslam. Like, no. Let's not even get into that.
At the end of the day, whether it's sports or whether it's everyday life, everybody's replaceable. Whether it's LeBron James or whether it's you.
I would if let's say they somehow magically in a different universe they get rid of Pat Riley, I would want Bob Myers, the former manager for the Golden State Warriors,
who's now on TV. Television, right? He's doing broadcasting on television.
Yeah, he's doing really good. But I would really want him. Honestly, because
I mean, I hope I'm not looking like a fool tonight in front of the camera saying should the Heat get rid of Pat Riley? Like I don't know, but this ain't working. If you're 29-35, 64 games in out of 82, this tells me something's wrong. And I don't want to hear the BS excuse. Well, they had that whole Jimmy Butler. That was a big distraction with him wanting to be here, trying to find his happiness on the basketball court. This is where viewership goes down the drain, man. Like, are the Heat even selling out these days? Like,
no, man.
Yeah.
You show up, you have to, if you go in your car, you have to pay like $60-$80 for parking in front of the stadium, or else you park in the garage. But that's like not even feasible because it's always full.
Right.
Leaving the stadium is even a harder thing to do because they have to close down all of Biscayne Boulevard just to get out, and it's like an hour and a half just to get out of that situation. Yeah, no, bro, it's not even fun anymore. Like they're charging you crazy amount for tickets.
What we need to do is we need to get your restaurant to get TVs, and we'll all just come there and watch Heat games.
Bro, some days I just feel like, damn, I gotta do that. That would be
Right,
fun,
you know what I'm saying?
bro. Like I don't even know what I've run out of things to say for the Heat. I'm frustrated.
You're probably one of 100 Heat fans that are going to say the same thing. And we said it when Daniel was here. We said it when Brandon H was here. I've said it. This is not the 2023 Heat. I was disappointed with the Heat when they got rid of Gabe Vincent. I was disappointed in the Heat when
Oh,
they
I
got
wanted that to happen.
really. I was disappointed in that. I was disappointed in the whole Matt Strus. I was disappointed in the whole Dwayne Wade and Pat Riley. Like
I
that's
think
why what is it? What is Heat culture? Like in 2025, what is deemed as Heat culture? Being the
like
toughest, meanest, baddest, sassiest team in the NBA? Because the Heat culture in my eyes right now is the 9th seed about to be the 10th seed and
I
about to
think
be a bounce out after the
one
play.
of the situations I think with the Heat, bro, is because of Pat Riley. Like he doesn't relate to all the other owners, so it's like he's like kind of like stuck up in his ways, and so whenever players see that, all right, this old guy, like seems like he's a pain in the ass. Excuse my language, but like, why would I want to come play for him when like I can go to, I don't know, for the Jazz example, to the Jazz, and the owners are nice and chill. I still get my money and I get to play, and I don't have to deal with that headache. Now, obviously, it's like, oh, people are, oh, but you come to Miami, yeah, like okay, like besides Miami, like you could be living in Miami, but we all know you, me, Daniel, everybody knows
Right.
when you're in Miami for long enough and you're not happy with your job and who your boss is, you're not gonna want to be here anymore. And it's like that's what happened with Jimmy and eventually LeBron, Dwayne Wade. At some point, wanted to be the highest paid player on the team, as he should have been, and he said no after he took a pay cut to get LeBron here, and then Pat Riley giving him the excuse like, "Oh no, I brought LeBron here." Like, buddy, no, you didn't. I don't know. I feel like it's time for a new Heat era, and it's not gonna happen any sooner. So we're gonna have to like deal with the downtimes now. We're gonna be probably one of the worst teams. We're gonna be like mediocre or just like below mediocre at
But
best for like the next
it's
couple of
fine
years.
though, because with every bad sports team comes with a great sports team. So if you're depressed about the Heat, you got the Florida Panthers.
I don't know if that's how it works.
If
But
you're depressed about the Heat, you have the Marlins season starting in about 17 days.
oh yeah, true.
You know, and we all come on, we all know what the Miami Marlins are ready to be this year. First place, National League East.
No. But before
Maybe
we
your restaurant on a busy day will have more people than a Monday Marlins home game. How about that? You think that's possible?
maybe. But we got around like 6 minutes left. We're gonna be talking about free agency that's starting up that we spoke about in the beginning of the show. But what are you excited about? Obviously, my Patriots have been balling
I
out,
was going to say
spending that money.
you and I spoke about it off camera. Love you guys getting Matt Hollins. I've loved Matt Hollins as a really good guy. I remember I was credentialed that last season under Brian Flores. The last time I was inside a media room, and I just remember speaking to Matt Hollins, and I was thinking in my head, number one, this dude's really tall, and number two, like what a weird guy. But he's like that weird guy that like you want to be around. So seeing him back in the AFC East, kind of cool. Yeah, that we'll be seeing him twice a year. The Dolphins finally trying to beef up the offensive line, entering year 6, I believe now for Tua. And how about Sam Darnold going to the Seattle Seahawks, right? The Seahawks trading Geno Smith to the Las Vegas Raiders to reunite him with Pete Carroll. And we get the new era now in Seattle, or as everyone is now calling it, Seattle Sam. So that was pretty cool there. DK Metcalf going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Justin Fields, now I guess kicking off a new era in New York under new head coach Aaron Glenn. I get it. I mean, with Aaron Glenn being the Lions defensive coordinator, Justin Fields, once upon a time, yes, he was the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears. So there's a lot of familiarity in that NFC North. There's been a lot of moves. Najee Harris going to the Los Angeles Chargers. They have a new running back. The Buffalo Bills getting Joshua Palmer. Josh Allen gets his extension. That's something that any Bills fan would have told you coming off a historic MVP season. Now, what's that next step? Can they finally defeat the Kansas City Chiefs? That's what's holding them back from a Super Bowl appearance, which they've had zero under Josh Allen. But listen, to get past the AFC East, I know you might not agree, but to get past the AFC East, you have to get past Josh Allen. And the three cornerbacks that are looking to do it this upcoming season: Tua, Drake May, who I know you're probably very sold on, and Justin Fields. But there's a lot. I mean, we didn't even get like so many guys, so many free agency moves today. And like we touched on in the beginning of the show, it's only day one.
Now, I think because we signed Matt Collins, I don't think we're gonna get Amari Cooper, but I would love to get obviously Stephon Diggs. Shout out to Daniel because he's a Cowboy fan. I'm gonna mention them signing running back Javonte Williams, which is not a bad pickup. I think they needed a running back. Zach Wilson to the Dolphins is hilarious.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even. How the hell do I literally forget that? Zach Wilson will be Tua's backup come 2025. That probably means that unless they want to go with three quarterbacks in training camp, that Tyler Huntley, because I know he's a free agent as well. I don't know if they're going to re-sign him. I haven't heard anything. Pretty soon we have the NFL annual league meeting over at the Breakers in Palm Beach, Florida, which we're looking to get credentials for that. So we'll hopefully get to hear from Mike McDaniel soon. I don't know if general manager Chris Greer will be there, but it is something interesting to find out. What did they like about Zach Wilson that they wanted to slide him into that backup role? But like I always say about a backup quarterback, you don't want a backup quarterback in come the season, right? Because it means if Zach Wilson's in there, Dolphins fans have to watch another season with Tua Tagovailoa missing 4, 5, 3, whatever it may be in terms of games missed because of injury. So I like the move. I think it's an upgrade over Skylar Thompson, over Tyler Huntley. But you just hope, obviously, you see him more in training camp and preseason than you would in come week one.
Just came out a minute ago. Ravens versatile offensive line Josh Jones is expected to sign with the Seahawks, adding key O-line depth with a 1-year deal worth up to $4.75 million. So
that's a lot of moves. Just like
apparently the Patriots are in talks with Kyle. I forgot his name.
Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah, Juszczyk. Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, we touched on it on the phone a while ago, but the San Francisco 49ers decided to release him, I would imagine, because of cap casualty and how much they were going to get hit for that. But, yeah, man, I mean, first day of free agency, I know we got about a minute 45 left, a lot of moves. I'm sure there will be some tomorrow that you and I are going to wake up to and go, what the hell just happened? I feel like we got a little bit of, a few bombshells with DK going to Pittsburgh and Justin Fields now coming to the Jets. They were wondering who their Aaron Rodgers replacement was going to be. So I'm just curious to see what goes next, like what moves put into a play next. Pretty soon we got the annual league meeting. Then we got the NFL draft over in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So I'm definitely looking forward to it as the offseason rolls along.
Yeah, bro, I'm so excited. I think we're just this is just getting started, bro. Once free agency officially opens up, way more players are going to be available.
Yeah, the new league year, like you said, Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Get ready, guys. This is just like base level. Wait until everybody starts getting released. And
imagine if like Rob Gronkowski decides to come back, like when someone comes out of retirement. Like
Ben Roethlisberger was apparently teasing coming back for the Steelers.
Wasn't he on the Pat McAfee show today?
I didn't watch today's episode.
Oh, okay. I think he was.
Bro, but that would actually be crazy if Ben Roethlisberger comes back for the Steelers.
Can you imagine?
For a vet minimum, and they can just keep spending money on players. That would be
an offensive line play, solidify defense and secondary, and go from there. They're gonna have to get a new running back now that they lost Najee.
bro. Yeah. Now, since they lost Najee, would they? Man, who would they draft? Are they gonna draft
Raheem
somebody
Mostert, they can get in free agency.
that?
Hey,
No.
it depends. If Raheem Mostert coming back from injury, do you still want to continue playing?
I mean, Juice wouldn't be that bad.
Kyle Juszczyk, fullback.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that bad. But I think with Ramondre, Antonio Gibson, and I'm not gonna say his name again. I don't know how to say it. I think that would be a crazy trio in the back. Ooh, bro. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started.
You and I are going to be fighting as we're about to end tonight's show. You and I are definitely going to be fighting come August. Actually, really come May, because when we find out the 2 weeks that the Patriots and Dolphins play, I mean,
Bro, I can't wait.
I think those are the 2 weeks that I might get banned from coming to your restaurant.
Nah, it's okay, bro. Don't worry. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming and watching us today. We're grateful. Follow us on all our socials. Obviously, you know me, Canes Don't Stop. I do all daily Canes news. Anything you need with Hurricanes, I got you. And Brandon, if you want to say anything.
Yeah, of course. If you guys want to follow me on X, it's at Brandon R. Ligori. You don't need to put the capital B and the capital R. Everyone always says, well, I can never find your X page. All you got to do is just type it in. It's right there. I'm under below my name. You can also follow me on Instagram at Brandon Lid Reporter. And I also have another person, like a separate IG from Just Sports. That's Brandon Lid Sports. I'm just starting that one up. There's a lot of content coming pretty soon. We're going to hit April. We got the NHL playoffs, the draft, and whatnot. So much sports circulating all at once. So I'm definitely excited. And tonight was definitely a good show.
Well, thank you guys again. And we'll see you next time on episode 177. And don't forget, support the troops.
And make sure you go to Jonka's restaurant.
Yeah, that's